YNW Melly's life inside of jail in 2022 has not been easy. From getting into altercations with inmates to even planning a prison escape, the things happening with YNW Melly inside of jail has been delaying his trial due to his actions. As near the start of 2022, YNW Melly's trial was set to begin, as YNW Melly was having a court hearing regarding the penalty in his case. This is when new paperwork was released revealing that YNW Melly would no longer be facing the penalty within his case, as the feds and the court system had really sloppy paperwork and did not keep care of the evidence they had against him, resulting in the penalty being dropped. Then we also saw good defenses coming out from YNW Melly's lawyers. As Melly's mom wrote on Instagram, the penalty has officially been removed from YNW Melly's case. Thank you, Jesus. #FreeMelly 2022. Now, with the trial beginning soon, the courtroom are starting to see defenses from YNW Melly's side, just as 100K Track said in an interview with DJ Academics.
He built a real great solid team away from just being innocent because he wouldn't do such a crime. He prepared himself and got a proper, defense. Their job is to handle themselves in trial, not on social media. You guys are taking it that way. If they say they got DNA in a car, I'm just gonna tell you, Melly DNA was found in the car. You're gonna think, yeah, his DNA was found in the car the day of the. Oh, he jumped in a car and his DNA was in the car. He did it, okay? But you're not gonna put the fact that this was his car for 6-7 months on those documents and dockets and just automatically be like, yo, he's fried. You don't even know what the defense is. You don't even know what the rebuttal is. You don't even know why that situation occurred. You hear ballistics flying, you don't know what the defense is. You hear this, you hear that. You get what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest.
Now, things were looking great for YNW Melly. This was, however, until he arrived back to the county jail. Now, after the court hearing, YNW Melly was being transported back to his county jail. Sources claim once arriving, YNW Melly was walking straight to his jail cell. Allegedly, inmates already knew what was about to happen, as most of them were already in their own jail cells or sitting at the public tables, staring and watching Melly walk to his cell. Once YNW Melly arrived to his cell, an altercation broke out between him and another rapper named Rico Reckless, as reports were being released of YNW Melly being placed in solitary confinement after getting into an altercation inside of jail with another rapper named Rico Reckless from Chicago, Illinois. They are both awaiting their trials to begin. Now, after these reports were being released online, YNW Melly's official Twitter account then put out his own statement, stating, and I quote, "To all my loved ones and close friends, I wanted to let everyone know that my phone privileges have been revoked and I'm no longer allowed to call or have video visitation. That is the reason why no one has received any calls from me. But do not worry, I am in great spirits." Now, YNW Melly's life inside of jail has allegedly never been easy. He's been transported from different cell blocks every couple of months, and this is due to primarily newer inmates coming in, wanting to make a name for themselves, so they either find the most famous person there or the biggest guy there, and they go after them to make a name for themselves. And with YNW Melly being a multi-million-dollar man with a very, very huge music career, he's obviously the main target every time. Now, this situation resulted in his lawyers trying everything possible to have this rapper released from jail. Ever since the release of the new evidence files, YNW Melly has been running into countless issues. Being inside of jail is loyalty over everything, as there isn't much inside of jail. So after the YNW Melly evidence I will share later was released, no one in jail really trusted YNW Melly. Now, months then passed as YNW Melly was sitting in solitary confinement. And with the YNW Melly case being so quiet, no trial date was set, and it seemed like YNW Melly was starting to get impatient. Now, with prosecutors having more and more time now to find evidence against Melly, it was announced that he's looking at facing 2 life sentences if he's found guilty. Now, this is when we saw on September 30th news outlets starting to report, and I quote, "YNW Melly is being accused of teaming up with one of his lawyers trying to plot a prison escape. Now, as the Broward County Jail where YNW Melly is currently locked up, they did an interview with the famous news outlet known as Complex. Now, in the courtroom on April 11th, this was stated. Broward Sheriff's Office received a confidential tip regarding inmates Nicholas Lewis and Jamal Demons, both housed in the same unit at the main jail, planning a prison escape from jail by having Demons' attorney bring in 2 handcuff keys in order to aid the escape. Additional information provided by the source was that Lewis had illegal items in his jail cell, as well as narcotics that weren't prescribed to him. As the statement continues saying, and I quote, "Jail authorities searched Lewis's jail cell after the tip, which came from another inmate. They found multiple illegal items and narcotics for which he did not have a prescription for. YNW Melly's cell was also searched, but nothing was found except food from the commissary and an excessive amount of jail-issued clothing." Now, this all happened very recently, as this all started with another inmate in YNW Melly's cell block informing the county jail that he overheard YNW Melly and this inmate named Lewis having a conversation about planning an escape from the county jail. Now, the inmate allegedly was sitting beside them at the table, and YNW Melly and Lewis thought nothing of it. As they continued speaking, he overheard the whole plan, as YNW Melly was gonna have a meeting with his lawyers within a week at that time. During the meeting, one of his lawyers was gonna slip him allegedly handcuff keys, and then he would use these with his friend Lewis a couple days later. Now, YNW Melly's mother even reacted to this. Here's what she said.
Okay, so I'm at work and I just seen this crazy story. First of all, this is just another tactic for them to try to literally just tarnish my son's character and everything. They do not want him having attorney visits in person, which will cause for ineffective counsel. So we went to court for that. And they took his phone calls and they have him locked down. They had no evidence whatsoever that his attorneys did anything wrong to prove these accusations, but they knew it would get picked up by the media. So when we get ready to pick a jury, hopefully within the next 2 weeks, it's gonna be, oh, this kid tried to escape. Oh, this kid tried to do all these things. This is all fake because they do not have a case.
Now, in that video, YNW Melly's mother mentioned this is a tactic that the prosecutors are using to have YNW Melly look bad to the jury, as he's claiming that YNW Melly is seriously trying to escape prison, as this won't look good for him against the jury. Now, the issues with loyalty inside of jail, however, started when one of YNW Melly's recent court hearings gave everyone an idea on how guilty the judge believes he is. As during the court hearing, YNW Melly's lawyers are pushing the judge and demanding the Florida rapper's release. All YNW Melly is trying to do right now is requesting to leave jail just to treat an abscess in his teeth. This is due to the permanent diamond grill he's been wearing for roughly 4 years. Now, it was reported that YNW Melly is unable to properly clean his teeth and allegedly does not have access to a regular toothbrush or dental floss. Now, this was mentioned to be a literal 2-hour max dentist appointment, as YNW Melly is very uncomfortable sitting in jail with this going on with his tooth. Something as simple as a dentist appointment was denied by the judge, as the prosecutors brought up a new piece of evidence against the Florida rapper, making him look extremely guilty, as they announced a new court order stating, and I quote, "Ordered and adjudged that defendant's motion to suppress evidence from T-Mobile warrant is hereby denied." Now, YNW Melly's lawyers originally filed a motion asking the judge to make all of the evidence on YNW Melly provided from T-Mobile unusable, as this evidence basically makes YNW Melly look extremely guilty. As of right now, the trial date for YNW Melly is not set, but once it is, I'll be making a follow-up video, so make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with everything YNW Melly related. It's been District Trending, and I'm out. Peace.